100%.
One thing that's improved is the run game over the last few weeks, whether it was Javonte Barnes or Xavier Robinson. We've started seeing signs of life with the running game. We'll discuss more about that coming up next here on Locked On Sooners.
You are Locked On Sooners, your daily podcast on the Oklahoma Sooners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Again, thank you for making Locked On Sooners your first listen every single day. Shout out to all the everydayers out there. The running game has improved. Is it Samaje Perine, Joe Mixon levels of improved? No, but it's much better than what it was the first half of the season. We've seen it with Javonte Barnes against South Carolina, Ole Miss, and we saw it on Saturday night as Xavier Robinson really had a really strong performance. I mean, he didn't get a lot of work, but the work he did helped you tie the game in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy just how good Xavier Robinson was in his now fourth game of the season. He only played extended play in 2 games, and it was the last 2. And yeah, he was moving bodies. It felt like he was moving them bodies. Dang, I mean, the line was moving, and he was finding the hole and was blasting through it. And what impressed me the most about it is you can tell that he was, the way he was shifting his body, looking for the hole, and he was flying right through it as soon as he figured it out. And he was figuring it out pretty fast. He was kind of being patient with the blockers, and he would go right behind them and go. And it made me think about him in high school. So for the uninitiated, he was the running back at Midwest City, Carl Albert High School. And they won back-to-back state championships with basically riding on his back. And this is what I mean. His junior year, he was the star running back. I think that year he rushed for like 2,500 yards or something ridiculous like that, and like 30-some touchdowns. And what happened was his quarterback, Reed DeQuasi, who was a player at Oklahoma, he was a walk-on safety, he got hurt at the beginning of the season to the point where they just basically just said, here, X-Rob, take the ball and figure it out. And that's what he did the entire season is he took the ball and he figured it out, carried them to a state championship. Literally, figuratively, you name it. He said, get on my back, boys. I got you.
Yeah.
Next season, Kevin Sperry transferred in, and it took a little weight off of his back, but they still basically ran the ball through Xavier Robinson. And so, sure, 5A at Oklahoma, not everybody's going to be impressed, but that's huge for someone to be able to not only do that, but understanding that every team you play against is going to scheme to stop you. Like you're the focal point. He looked like that in those runs against Missouri, John. Xavier looked like he knew that they were going to try to load the box up some to stop him because when they saw his size, they're like, who is this dude? And of course, you got main tape of him cracking people. He just ran straight down their throat. What impressed me the most, too, is that he had a very high blocking grade on PFF. Xavier Robinson's going to potentially be something special for us long term. Him and Taylor Tatum together, burn the red shirt. Have both of them on the field at all times moving forward.
Yeah, it's a really nice duo. I really liked what they did with Xavier Robinson. They said, hey, this is your series. We're going to ride you. And they were unafraid to just continue to run the football. I think they even had a second and long situation. They still handed it off. They didn't get worried about making sure they found a third manageable through the air. No, they rode Xavier Robinson. I want to say he had 40-something rushing yards on that drive where they scored the game-tying touchdown on the Taylor Tatum throwback to Jackson Arnold. He gets downhill quick. He like you said, he finds the hole. He's got good vision, and he's a powerful runner. But, I mean, he had 2 runs of 10-plus yards. He had 3 first down rushes for the Sooners on that drive, one including a 3rd and short that was a really tough run. So, yeah, it was nice to see him getting on the field more, considering what we'd seen from him against South Carolina. Again, he was only in for a few snaps at the end of the South Carolina game, caught a pass, and, again, showed that physicality, unafraid of college football. And then we saw it last week against Maine. Again, it's Maine, so you don't want to take too much away from that. But he was ready for Missouri. Missouri was a really good defense. Was it a great defense? Maybe not, but it was good enough. It was good, and he proved capable of running on a really good defense, especially a really good defensive front that the Tigers boast. So I'm excited about his future. I think he's got the chance to develop into something special. He's one of those guys that you can give the ball to 20, 25, 30 times a game. He's shown the ability to do that at the high school level. Like you mentioned, he carried the load literally for the entire offense for the entire season. And if you want to ride him in that game where it's like, hey, in this game, we need you to be the bell cow and carry the ball 25, 30 times, he can do that.
And the crazy part is the blocking grades were actually pretty solid in
the
this
offensive
game.
line did a good job in this game. I know it's easy to just dump on them, but they were solid, man.
They were actually solid. And the best part about it is, like, he was up there. He was in the top 5 as far as good when it comes to especially pass blocking. But the best part about that is because of the youth of this line, they're going to do nothing but grow together.
Yep.
So you'll have Heath Ozida back. You're going to have Fabichi Wewu, which he's improved. This game wasn't his best one, but overall, he has been getting better over the season. I think that he's a very good long-term right guard. But then you'll have EPL, who's going to play a lot next year. You'll have BJ Brooks, who's going to play a lot next year. Isaiah Autry-Dent, who's going to play a lot next year. And then if the freshmen decide to walk in, Ryan Fogier or Michael Fasusi decide that, you know what, I want to take the starting job and show you I'm ready to play in SEC day one, then you've got a chance there. But that's the good thing is the line's going to do it but improve. You'll get healthy. Both the Jakes will be back. So you're going to see guys get healthy. And that's what we need. I just want us to be healthy. And we get healthy, the team will look a heck of a lot better. Having Rob run the ball a lot with him and Taylor Tatum, because it gives you kind of a good dynamic. As you mentioned, Xavier Robinson can catch the ball very well. Like, he does a fantastic job in the flats. I wish we would have done more swing passes, more flats like that. That's some of the innovative stuff I want to see from a new OC. Find a way to get the ball to your good guys in space and let them do work. Don't try to make it to where you're throwing the ball right when coverage gets there. No, do what you need to do to get the ball to those guys in space and then let them have the space and make guys miss. Let them show you that they are playmakers. You can do that with Xavier Robinson and Taylor Tatum. You get those two guys out there in space. They're pretty dynamic, and that's kind of what I want to see going forward. So to me, just burn the red shirt, make a play against Alabama and LSU. Let's put some good tape out there for next season. And let's see what we've got going into 2025.
Yeah, because I think you need him. I mean, I think Javonte Barnes will be back for the Alabama game. I think he'll get healthy enough.
Yeah, that'd be 2 weeks of rest on that swollen ankle. I can see that.
Yeah, but still, utilize Xavier Robinson. He's proven capable of being an effective player and somebody that you can rely on at the power 4 level. So continue to play him, continue to play Taylor Tatum. I thought Taylor Tatum did some good things in this game. They tried to use him in some short yardage stuff which isn't really his game, but I thought he ran well early in the game. He had 4 carries for 17 yards in the first half. And I remember saying in a group chat, why does Taylor Tatum just have 4 carries in the first half when he's running the ball well? Maybe a little bit less efficient in the second half, but still, he's a good player that's got a great future as well. So an exciting duo that Oklahoma can build their offense around. And when you have a good defense, you got to have a good running game that goes with it. And I think you can have that with these guys and a continually developing offensive line. It's just got to be, like you mentioned, healthier. And that's one of the parts of the Brent Venables discussion that maybe we didn't touch on, is this offense has been so battered by injuries at the offensive line, at wide receiver, at running back, that it's hard to get a great evaluation of what this offense is because you don't have everybody that you expect to have. Now, that being said, the guys that you have that are playing have to be better and can't kill you in the way that they've killed you with turnovers and things like that. So continually develop your offensive line with Xavier Robinson and Taylor Tatum toting the rock behind them and the guys that they've got coming in the 2025 class. And I really like the direction of the run game moving forward.
Same.
So who should play in the final 2 games? Which seniors should play? Who should sit? We'll discuss coming up next here on Locked On Sooners.